Mr. Mayor, we live.
Thank you for that. Today is April 5th, 2023. The time is 7:10 p.m. and I'm calling to order the Baldwin Park City Council regular meeting. Is there somebody in? Oh, I see Pastor Jackson. Pastor Jackson, would you mind leading us in invocation at this time? If you are able to stand, please do so.
Heavenly Father, we come before you right now in the name of the Lord and giving you praise, glory, honor, thanksgiving. We thank you, Lord God, for the mayor, the city council, and we thank you, Lord God, for the police chief and all the police department and the fire department, the school district. We thank you for them. We thank you, Lord God, for the business district as well, Lord, that Baldwin Park will prosper business-wise. And we thank you, Lord God, for touching our children, Lord God, keeping them in their right mind and off of gangs and off of that deadly fentanyl that's touching our children, Father God. We thank you, Lord God, that your mighty hand up on Baldwin Park, Father God. We need you, and give the city council and all that are dealing with the public wisdom and knowledge and understanding and how to govern the city, how to govern the police department, fire department, the schools, and the businesses. In the name of the Lord, we pray. Amen.
City Clerk, go ahead and conduct a roll call, please.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Estrada,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Avila,
Here.
Councilmember Ayala,
Here.
Councilmember Damian.
Here. Thank you for that, City Clerk. At this moment, City Attorney, is there anything to report out from closed session?
Thank you, Mayor. Earlier tonight, the City Council recessed in a special session to discuss the closed session items. All members were present except for Councilmember Damian, who was not able to join us. There were 3 items on the agenda, related items on liability claims, with the claimant being Cade Investor Holdings, also conference with legal counsel in the case of Rookley versus City of Baldwin Park, and Tier 1 versus City of Baldwin Park. City Council heard a presentation from its legal counsel concerning the status of those cases, and we have no reportable action. There were also 2 real property negotiation matters involving price and terms for acquisitions of right-of-way and public easements involving the properties at 4021 Main Avenue and 14318 Ramona Boulevard. City Council heard a presentation from its negotiating team on those matters, and we have no further reportable action. That concludes the report.
Thank you for that, City Attorney. So at this moment, we are done with our closed session and all of our open sessions during the special City Council meeting. So I'm going to make a motion to adjourn the special meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any objections? Not. The special meeting is closed, and we will continue with our regular meeting. And we do have some announcements. The City Council members are also members of the Board of Directors of the Housing Authority, which are concurrently convening with the City Council this evening, and each council member is paid an additional stipend of $30 for attending the Housing Authority meeting. At this point, we will move on to our proclamations, commendations, and presentations. And we have a presentation, which is Baldwin Park Unified School District presents the students who were selected to attend a field trip to the California State Capitol in Sacramento through the City of Baldwin Park's Financial Assistance Program, presented by Dr. Angela A. Salazar and our Assistant Superintendent, which is the Assistant Superintendent of Student Achievement. And I do see our Superintendent, Dr. Mendoza, and I do see a couple of our board members from the Unified School District, Santos, and I believe the Vice President. He's it. So I'm going to go ahead and, if you want to join us here, and then you can go ahead.
Good evening. I'm here for Dr. Salazar today. I'm Dr. Martinez. I'm the Director of Student Achievement for the Baldwin Park Unified School District. Good evening, Mayor Estrada, City Council members, and the community members. It is with great pleasure to be here this evening to share an amazing opportunity presented to Baldwin Park Unified School District students. I would like to thank our board president, Miranda DeZib, Board Member Hernandez, and Superintendent Dr. Mendoza for being here this evening to support our students. In February of 2023, our district entered an MOU with the City of Baldwin Park to provide students with a field trip experience above and beyond what we are currently experiencing. The City of Baldwin Park allocated $120,000 to our district to be used towards field trip assistance, and for this we are extremely grateful. So seeing this as a wonderful way to expose students to a different part of California, as well as learn about California history, the Baldwin Park Unified School District partnered with Grand Classroom to organize and customize a student study field trip to Sacramento from June 12th through June 15th, 2023. The tour includes airfare, transportation, hotel accommodations, meals, and guided tours. Our students will even have the opportunity to meet the Assemblywoman Rubio as we go to visit the state's capital. 32 students representing Baldwin Park High School, Sarah Vista High School, and North Park High School will attend the field trip along with 3 district staff chaperones. I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Enrique Zaldivar, the City of Baldwin Park's CEO and city manager. He has worked in partnership with us along the way during this field trip journey, so I thank him for his support. I would like to introduce Jenny Weidman. She is our teacher on special assignment for the Baldwin Park Unified School District, and she's going to speak a little bit about the process the students went through to be selected. And then, of course, the best part, we have our students here this evening so that you can see some of the students who were selected. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you about our awesome students who are going to Sacramento. We were so excited when we found out about this field trip. We decided to open it up to the 11th graders, and so we had to start a application process. I'll put my glasses on. We started with our home liaisons and our school principals at the 3 high schools. We made a video for them and for the students, a slideshow, and we asked them to get it out to all 11th graders. The only requirement is that you had to promise to obey safety rules and be respectful and courteous. We weren't looking at grades. We weren't looking at anything specific. We just had this process that we asked the students to follow in their application. So they had to do an application with one kind of thoughtful response. And then they had to do a vision board, and you're going to see some of those tonight, and they're just amazing. But most importantly, they had to do an oral presentation, because the oral presentation, we knew they would be doing that all by themselves. Couldn't control the other, how much help you get, but we knew that the oral presentations would be them speaking from the heart, talking to us about going to on this trip, or what they hoped. The prompt was, what do you hope to gain from going on the Sacramento trip? So the students did their application and they created their vision board. They had about a month to prepare. And then we made appointments at each school, and a panel came and listened to their oral presentations. And we were blown away. The students spoke from their heart. They were very specific. We told, a few students had asked for a little advice, and I had said, just be uniquely you and tell us your unique reasons for wanting to go to Sacramento and what you hope to gain from it. And the students were just deep, and it was just amazing, their thoughts about it, and we were just so incredibly impressed. So tonight we're so excited because some of them are here to just give you a little smidge of what they spoke about that day. That day they had to speak from 5 to 10 minutes. Tonight we said 1 to 2. So, and it's not all of them, but a couple of them have bravely agreed to speak to us tonight. So first we're going to have Zitlali Sandoval.
Good afternoon, city council members and school board members that are here, and all of the people that are here. So this is my vision board that I created. So the title is Travel Opens and Heals Your Mind. So my entire presentation of why I wanted to go to Sacramento was to overcome my mental health struggles that I have encountered the past year. In the past year, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression disorder. So as you can see, there are many places in Sacramento that I want to see, like the Sacramento River, Old Town, and the Railroad Museum. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. So I used to be a person who would be able to drive in a car with no destination and just be down to just experience new things. But this past year, it became hard to even leave my room, to even look at my parents, because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel like myself. So what I'm hoping to gain on this trip is my old self. I'm hoping to go back to the person who I used to be and overcome my mental health struggles. Thank you.
Our next student is from Sierra Vista High School is Ruby Sanchez.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ruby Sanchez, and I am from Sierra Vista High School. So to begin with, I think what has really made this special about, the opportunity that was offered to us is, the field trip is really awesome, but what I really liked was when Miss Weidman and the rest of the ladies on the panel, really heard us out and listen to why we hope to be able to go on this field trip, earn this field trip. And what I would really like to point out about this opportunity is that I'm really grateful that it was offered specifically, it was specifically catered to the juniors and not the other grade levels, not only because I happen to be a junior, but also because I feel like junior year, we start to really feel like the senior year and college and adulthood creeping up on us. So before that happens, we will have this summer I'm honestly thinking of it as if you can see on my vision board, I put a goodbye to my childhood, because like I said, we're thinking so much about the future that it's constantly like a tug of war. We want to have fun right now, we want to make memories, but because we're so worried about the future, it's holding us back. So in my vision board, I really wanted to kind of show that I want this field trip and I earned this field trip because I want to have fun. I want to get to enjoy my last summer before it starts to get serious. Yes, and before I finish off, I also do hope that these type of opportunities continue. As the years goes on, because it's exciting. We're all looking forward to it, and I haven't gone on it yet, but I think it's something that everyone should experience. And that is all. Thank you.
Our next student is Gustavo Trujillo.
Hello, my name is Gustavo Trujillo Jr., and I am a junior from Baldwin Park High School. First of all, thank you, especially Mr. Saldivar, Mr. Manuel Estrada, the mayor. Thank you all for being a large component in organizing this trip. I think this is an amazing opportunity for students like me getting ready to go off to college to build experiences to really make high school memorable. I think it's an amazing opportunity to kind of go out and get a sense of what independence for myself is like. And it's just an amazing opportunity for me personally. I've always grown up with the love of politics. I've always grown up, my cousin's in politics. It's always been a part of my life, and I've always been interested, which is why on my vision board, I included a small model of the capital of California, because that's what I'm most interested in seeing. I jump at the chance for public speaking, especially like right now. When I heard we were going to present, I already knew I was kind of going to get in, right? Because my board, up in the air, I don't know how creative I was going to be that day, but I know going into an office, speaking with people, that's my calling. I know I'm really confident, especially using my voice, my words to communicate how I feel. I'm excited to visit the Capitol. Excited that I get not only a trip to Sacramento, but a chance at public speaking. Last week, I was at the district office giving a little speech there, and now I'm here speaking to all of you people, which have my dream jobs, right? Politicians, I love it. Thank you all.
When Gustavo presented his board, one of the panelists said, who's the scrapbooker? And he goes, me? Like he did not like us insinuating that somebody helped him. And then he told us about the hours and hours it took with an X-Acto knife to make that. So that's just really awesome. Okay, so our next speaker is Melina Barrios.
Oh, wow, it's scary up here. Okay. Hi, I'm Melina. I am a junior in Sierra Vista. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you for this honor. It was scary. Like Gustavo said, it is an opportunity for me to get to know myself, to know my boundaries and everything, and to know that I'll be leaving my parents. I will be in the state capitol, and it's really exciting because I'm a huge history geek. I love knowing little facts and tidbits about everything. And knowing that we're going to be going to see trees, my bad. I took this quiz off BuzzFeed, and it said I'm a transcendentalist or something about loving nature. So when I got to see all the trees, I was like, oh, definitely me. Getting to see that the Capitol, and we're going to be meeting someone that's up there, you know, it's super exciting, and especially because she's a woman, and as a Latina woman, it's very interesting to be seeing other empowered women up in politics and government. And so I just want to end it by saying, like my poster says, let the adventures begin. So thank you.
Our next student is from North Park, Miguel Candia.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me. I'd like to thank the people who chose me for this trip. I want to thank my teachers who gave me the idea for this and who also helped me with the supplies, the pictures, the encouragement to do this. But yeah, last week, when they called me, I remember saying that I wanted to go on this trip because it's a trip, and everybody should go at least on a trip outside of the LA region. And I was lucky to do it many times before. I've been able to go to New York, Washington D.C., the U.S. Capitol, you know, and I really thought I went to the nation's capital before my state's capital. I can't do that. I have to go to my state's capital to learn about that. So that's what I said, and yeah, I'm excited for this trip. In the beginning, before they announced this, I was bummed out because I found out that I wasn't able. I wasn't going to be able to go to Portugal in 2023 in the summer to meet the Pope, and I was bummed out. But then they said this, and then I was like, "Hey, at least I got a trip." So I want to thank you all for that, and thank you.
And then we have Michael Garcia.
Good evening. My name is Michael Garcia, representing Baldwin Park High School as one of the 32 students chosen for the Sacramento Educational Tour. I want to start off by thanking everyone who was able to make it here tonight, as well as the city for providing the budget for this trip. When I first learned of this opportunity, I immediately started tackling it like I always tackle things, academically. I outlined my response to the question, what do you hope to gain out of this experience? The application asked for a paragraph, but I wrote a 687-word four-paragraph essay. I wanted to keep the application process as authentic to me as possible, so I began my vision board the weekend before it was due and finished it the morning of the presentation. Making my board, I made sure to make it visually appealing and environmentally friendly, and most of all, unique to myself. An hour before my presentation, I panicked and I wrote a page-long script to say before the panel, which I eventually threw away after realizing it was very inauthentic to myself. I spoke to the panel of the unique reasons and hopes to gain out of this trip to Sacramento, and I referenced the aspirations I wrote in my application, the goal to learn more about the Californian government, to make new friends, and to have an adult experience outside of my comfort zone. When I revisited my application a day ago, however, I realized there was something missing from my litany of reasons to go to Sacramento. The application process has taught me that we're all bringing something different to the trip, different backgrounds and different dreams. When we come back, however, we come back as a unison, a monolith of the SoCal dream and a representation of California's future. And all I hope to gain from this trip is to be an active part of that process. Thank you.
That was our last speaker, but at this time, I would like to invite all the students who are present this evening who earned the Sacramento trip to please stand up and come forward so you can recognize them. Thank you.
We have certificates for all the students, Rochelle, so why don't we figure this out in a way in which the city council can present them.
We're going to go ahead and make space up here, and then we will call you all up by name. So I'm going to start off with Baldwin Park High School. So Baldwin Park High School, get ready. And then we'll go to North Park, and then we'll go to Sierra Vista.
This is for better.
Yeah. Here.
Up here or down there?
Up here so we get to see them. Oh, yeah, yeah. Pointing to this. Ready? Percy? Are you gonna move your chair? Okay. Great. So starting off with Baldwin Park High School, we have Maya Amor. Where's Maya? No? Okay. If you're here, you're gonna make your way to your right. You're gonna come with the dais. The next one is Gustavo Trujillo Jr. He's the most excited about politics in this whole room. So we'll give it to him for the enthusiasm. Jose Bustamante. Michael Garcia. Gemma Grijalva. Brian Noel Revilla. Jacqueline Fan. Diana Navarro. Ovidio Melgar, Andrea Calderon, Survia Cheng, Ashley Alfaro, Francisco Vargas, and Ashley Yith. From North Park High School, we have Lindsay Castro, Miguel Candia, Zaira Melendez, Jason Barrios, Joel Vasquez, all right, we're gonna continue with Sierra Vista High School. That's North Park. Citlali Sandoval. Ruby Sanchez. Viviana Maldonado. Stacy Joy Villaflor. William Real. Andrew Gallegos. Carolina Pinedo Mendoza. Aleida Guadalupe Martinez Cortez. Melina Barrios. Lizelle Hernandez. Caleb Torres. And Josie Cruz Zambrana. Congratulations. Oh, really? Nice, okay. So we definitely, want to show our appreciation to the district for working with us. And we're so excited to see this take place. We wanted to make sure that Baldwin Park students and Baldwin Park children had the opportunity to explore, to make sure that Baldwin Park children had the opportunity to explore and have the, not only opportunities, but the opportunities that other districts have. And so a lot of the times when we think about disparities and socioeconomic barriers, we realize that it's city limits that sometimes affect the opportunities that our children have. And so not only did the Baldwin Park students work for this and earn this, they deserve this. And we want to make sure that our children have those opportunities to help them explore and to
May we have the board members and Dr. Mendoza up here, please, and the staff, the teachers that were able to help our students as well, the rest of the staff from Baldwin Park School District. Come on over here, Dr. Mendoza. Come on over here, everybody. Squeeze in. A nice picture.
feel free. Gotta be part of the spotlight.
One more, sorry.
Please hold. One more.
Got it, thank you.
And congratulations to the parents for bringing up such wonderful children. Thank you, parents.
I want to make sure that when all of them are in Sacramento, that they do represent Baldwin Park, so all of them are going to get a lapel pin, okay? How many? Okay. So maybe you should hold on to them.
Not even, Sheldon.
22 and then everybody, because the youngest player was 23. Send me an email and I'll mail you one.
I know, like,
I'll send you a text and I'll send you a postcard.
okay. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, really? Wasn't those meeting emails? Oh, okay, because I get a lot of meeting emails around. What's up? Not only that, but then we want to make sure that we save some of them in the document. Because this is like the first time we ever did this.
I would do that.
So, and we're actually, I think we have direction for a youth council at some point. Whoever opens up, you know, I told him, no, I told him, you know, depending on how hard he does it, because I got elected at, I've already got elected at 20. It could be me or it could be both of us. Yeah, it's all possible.
I'll be like, are you 21?
And it doesn't have to be in council, right? It could be the water board or the school board. So, all right? Congratulations. Congratulations. Have fun. Hey, I told him don't say that. No water or water
Thank you. Great job.
Thanks. I didn't know there was going to be opportunities.
Always important to have.
It's not awesome.
You still have more proclamations?
20 more proclamations.
Like 50. Maybe, but we have proclamations. A long night. No, we have I don't know whose idea was to set up all these presentations. Sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Strong.
Don't be shy. Let's go away. Coffee break.
To your mom? Where's your mom? Your mom? I've seen her before.
Oh, you know her?
I know your mom. Oh my gosh.
Mama, do you want me to take it for you? Okay.
Thank you. Yes, have a good day. All right. You're paranoid, huh? All right, and so next we do have.
Mayor, really quick before we move on, I just wanted to congratulate all the students. I also wanted to share, I graduated from Baldwin Park High School a few years ago, but I'll keep that a secret. But I'm so proud of all the students from all the high schools that are represented here tonight. And I just want to encourage you all to go out there, have fun. It's a time of adventure, to explore, to learn about yourselves, to learn about the opportunities that are available to you. So embrace it all, and just know that you have all of our support. Enjoy. Congratulations.
All right. Our next presentation is the certificates presented to the. Oh, we already did that. Sorry. I don't know why you wrote it twice. Presentation for the Arbor Day Proclamation and Earth Day Proclamation presented to Recreation and Community Services Commission. Okay, nice.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. Tonight, we have some of our students from Baldwin Park and Sierra Vista. We have our Keep Baldwin Park Beautiful, where we meet once a month and they go to the parks and go ahead and pick up trash and what have you. And also beautify the parks so that they'll be looking like the way they should, and so on and so forth. Coincidentally, this Saturday, we are having the Arbor Day and Environmental Fair. So tonight, I had asked students, if you will, come on up. I asked some of the students that participate on a monthly basis in our Keep Baldwin Park Beautiful, which is a step forward to keeping not only the city beautiful, but also our parks. So, and I do have, I'm gonna name them off. Stephanie Villalobos, Luis Acuna, Edward Villalobos, Vivian Esparza, Karen Baca, Yarhida Flores Gomez, Gilberto Flores Gomez, Danny Luna, and Furman Luna. These are just some of the kids that participate on a monthly basis. Thank you. And of course, we have a proud dad that's joining them as well. Where is he at? There he is. But anyways, this is just some of the kids that, or excuse me, young adults, teenagers that participate on the monthly basis to clean our parks. And also, they're going to be volunteering this Saturday also for our Spring Fest Arbor Day Environmental Fair. So once again, thank you, students, for being here tonight. And of course, we'll see you on Saturday as well. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna ask the volunteers to come join us up here at the dais, and of course, proud dad, you too. Come on down. Anytime at the parks. Bring your friends next time.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Hi, nice to see you again. Hey, Mike.
Young adult.
Thank you so much. So who are we handing out the first one to? All right. So we're going to go ahead and do the first proclamation, which is Arbor Day, April 28, 2023. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for a plant of trees, and the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And trees are a renewable resource, giving us proper wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. We present this proclamation to the Recreation and Community Services and thank them for their services and commitment to our Department of Recreation and Community Services. Now, therefore, I, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Mayor of the City of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Monica Garcia, Council Members Alejandra Avila, Gina Mayala, Daniel Damian, City Clerk Christopher Sands, and City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela do hereby proclaim that April 28, 2023 as Arbor Day in the City of Baldwin Park and encourage all residents and community members to celebrate and support efforts to protect our trees, plant more trees, and promote the well-being of the future generations. Then we have Earth Day. What's your name? All right, so Eduardo's gonna help me with this one. So Earth Day, April 22, 2023. Whereas Earth Day is observed annually to promote awareness of Earth's life-sustaining ecosystem and the importance of preserving its integrity through education and wise stewardship, and life on our planet and the quest for meaning and purpose in life can be threatened by mankind's failure to take charge and care of the earth. And the protection and nurturance of the earth is every block of every neighborhood can be achieved through mankind's united efforts. And to aid purposes, there is a need for worldwide decisions and a personal commitment by individuals to be responsible trustees of the earth in our own area of ability and influence. And we acknowledge April 22nd, 2023 as Earth Day and present this proclamation to the Recreation and Community Services and thank them for their services and commitment to our Department of Recreation and Community Services. Now, therefore, I, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Mayor of the City of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Monica Garcia, Council Members Alejandra Avila, Gina Mayala, Daniel Damian, City Clerk Christopher Sands, and City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela, do hereby proclaim the April 22nd, 2023 as Earth Day in the City of Baldwin Park and encourage all residents and community members to engage in environmental lifestyles in an effort to sustain the natural world around us.
One more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
So we will have certificates printed out for the volunteers as well, because they make a big difference in our community.
Surely. So we're incredibly thankful for the youth to not only being involved, but taking care of the environment. It is incredibly important that we protect our parks and that we create more trees, more green space, more open space to make sure that we have an ability to breathe fresh, clean air, fight air pollution, and keep our family and our zip code safe. So they are doing a big, important job, not just for themselves, but for the future generations that come after them as well, and even us. So give them a round of applause. And we are going to make sure that we present all of them some certificates. So we're going to work with our staff and get the volunteers' names and give them to them at a later time. Thank you for being with us today.
Okay, all right. Baldwin Park High School?
Yes, I'm one of the teachers.
Awesome. Okay.
I've been teaching.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, thank you.
All right. So next, we have another important proclamation. So I'm going to ask Jolene and anybody with her to join us.
Thank you, Baldwin Park School District.
Over here, over here. No special volunteers that normally volunteer with you? No? You sure? All right. You don't want to? It's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
No, no.
I'm last.
Well, you know what? Nah, I don't think
There's nobody here now.
I feel like that was awkward. Okay, ready? So today is not today, but April 2023 is DMV Donate Life California Month. So, whereas organ tissues, marrow, and blood donations are life-giving acts recognized worldwide as expressions of compassion to those in need, and whereas more than 121,000 individuals nationwide and more than 21,000 in California are currently on the National Organ Transplant waiting list, and every 90 minutes one person dies while waiting due to shortage of donated organs, and the need for donated organs is especially urgent in Hispanic and African American communities at any given time. 6,000 patients are in need of volunteer marrow donors, and a single individual's donation of the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, and small intestine can save up to 8 lives. Donation of tissue can save and heal the lives of up to 50 others, and a single blood donation can help 3 people in need. And whereas California residents can sign up with the Donate Life California registry when applying for or renewing their driver's license or IDs cards at any California DMV, we are happy to present this proclamation to Jolene Vargas, One Legacy Ambassador, and thank her for her commitment to this organization. Now, therefore, I, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Mayor of the City of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Monica Garcia, Council Members Alejandra Avila, Gina Mayala, Daniel Damian, City Clerk Christopher Saenz, and City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela, do hereby proclaim April 2023 as National Donate Life Month and DMV Donate Life California Month. The City of Baldwin Park, and encourage all of Californians to check yes when applying for or renewing your driver's license or ID card, or by signing up at www.donatelifecalifornia.org or www.donevidacalifornia.org. Yes, the flag.
I'm bringing you a flag. Haven't been able to set up a date.
Right.
But Baldwin Park is the only city in the 7 counties that we go. Baldwin Park is the only city receiving a flag for Donate Life Month.
A flag parley in the
Yes,
city of
yes.
Baldwin Park.
In memory of all the donors from Baldwin
Want to
Park.
open this for the picture?
Yeah, come over here. Councilmember.
Let me take it over. All right, for sure, the final presentation. We have with us the South Coast Air Quality Management District presents City of Baldwin Park's Air Quality Update, presented by Governing Board Vice Chair Michael Casciotti, and we have Tim Sandoval, Mayor of Pomona, and also part of the SEAQMD.
Mayor, thank you so much. And again, thank you for welcoming Mr. Sandoval, who's a consultant with AQMD, and Rainbow, who's our staff member. I'm your representative, you're my boss for the South Coast AQMD, the 34 cities in Eastern LA County, actually all the way from Santa Clarita, Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena, then the rest of the COG cities, all the way to Claremont. 2 million people. Next. For those in the audience and some new people, what is the AQMD? It's a South Coast Air Quality Management District, arguably the largest air pollution district in the nation. Represents 17 million people to 4 counties, LA, Orange, San Bernardino, and Riverside. There's 13 board members. I'm one of them. So we have 1/3 of all U.S. containerized cargo. It was formed many years ago, back in 76, 77. We were the dirtiest, most polluted region in the United States. We had to comply with federal clean air standards. Next. 2 sources of pollution on the left. Stationary sources, AQMD controls. Solvents, cleansers, auto body shops, gas stations, oil refineries, power plants, landfills. On the right, we don't do that. It's supposed to be the federal government and the state. These are the worst polluters, 80% in our basin. Ocean-going vessels, airplanes, trains. Not only freight trains, but the Metrolink that just came by, it runs on diesel. We've given them about $70 million over the last 15 years to the cleanest diesel. We just had a program about 3 or 4 months ago. We're funding with Burlington Northern, Caterpillar, and some others, the first huge battery-powered freight trains in the region. So hopefully that pilot project goes well, so that someday the trains coming by here won't be diesel, they'll be electric. Next. So these 2 sources of pollution, we don't meet federal clean air standards, but not only don't we meet the standards, but they're harmful to you and your residents and the kids that were just here, your teachers and your employees. On the left is ozone, and again, we don't meet clean air standards. What is that? It's formed by nitrogen oxide combustion from cars, trucks, lawn equipment, airplanes, etc., of volatile organic compounds in the air. When sunlight hits it, especially in the summer, ozone, severe. On the right, this is what's really dangerous for us. That gray bar is a strand of your human hair, Mayor, and those little blue globes, and I did this at Loyola High School several months ago. When all of us walked in today and hit the carpet, you kicked up dust. That's particulate matter 10. People blow stuff, dirt comes in the air. Your body can fight that off, no problem. Go a little higher, that red globe in the blue, particulate matter 2.5 from combustion, metals, etc. Even smaller than that compared to your human hair up at the top, ultrafine particulates, again, combustion, particles in the air, metals. That goes through your blood-brain barrier and goes through your circulatory system all throughout your body and lodges in your organs for years. Here's why. Next. This is why we're so passionate about fighting cleaner. That's your body. That's the kids that were just here, your family. Even an animal has, respiratory system. So as you inhale that through your lungs, through your blood vessels, all circulatory system, we knew it went through your lungs. Now we know it goes to your heart. And now we know it goes to your brain, your whole nervous system. We've done studies with rats by the 405 freeway in Irvine. And what the neurosurgeons at Cedars-Sinai found when we funded these studies was it expresses genes, the closer they were to the freeway, expresses certain genes in a rat's brain, because the rat's 99% like us biologically, that's consistent with Alzheimer's in humans. For the first time in January, University of British Columbia did a study with humans. They've never done it before. So they exposed them to the diesel you would inhale by a freeway. They did an MRI before, MRI after they were exposed for a couple hours. You can read about it, just go on University of British Columbia. And they found cognitive reduction in their abilities. After several hours, it returned. So it's a major impact, but what if you're exposed to this every day by trains, planes, cars, trucks, the lawn equipment, weed whackers? Serious. Next. This is why it's important we meet clean air standards on the left. We could prevent 1,500 premature deaths a year, especially among older people that have issues. We prevent hospitalizations of kids with asthma going to the hospital with emergencies. On the third row, I don't know how many play sports have played sports. I coach soccer. This past year, I've been coaching 30 years. I've never had more than 1 kid on a team with asthma. Coach high school, youth, and college. This year, I had 3 kids with asthma. Unheard of. So nebulizer at every practice. Stopping the practice because I saw Chris Chavez breathing too hard. Chris, go sit down, please. I don't want to have to bring you to hospital. So there's still serious problems. There's over 100,000 asthmatic kids in our basin. On the right, we would save billions of dollars in health benefits by keeping people out of hospitals, reducing these different types of lung bronchitis, asthma, etc. Next. So good news on the left is air pollution is reducing, the ozone's going down. It's kind of leveling off lately for the last 20 years, 30 years. On the right, there's a lot of cancer-causing compounds in the air too, separate from carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. These are chemicals. If you look in 2012, the purple is bad, but 2018, it's getting a lot better. Cleaner technologies are coming out. Next. Again, these are all the sources of pollution we're trying to do something about, especially off-road equipment, trucks, airplanes, trains, the ships that come in all the time. Next. Just very quickly, these are 3 agencies that regulate air quality on the left, US EPA in the middle, CARB in the center, AQMD in the right. Again, AQMD only touches things that don't move, landfills, things like that. At the bottom, what happens if we don't meet clean air standards? Last line, it says 2023, 2031. If Southern California, AQMD, 4 counties, doesn't meet those standards on the left in the green, they can say, okay, every entity that's permitted, there's 28,000 permitted in our 4-county basin, you've got to pay double the permit fee to open a gas station, a factory, a warehouse. Federal government will do that. In the middle, they could take away $1 billion of transportation funding, and board member of the Metro would not be very happy about that. And the final one, the federal implementation plan, which they already had a draft out one time, was on Mondays, only even number of cars on the road, Tuesdays, only odd number of cars. This could happen if we don't meet clean air standards. Next. Good news, we've got a lot of money available for you, Mayor, your residents, your community, your businesses, your staff. On the left, if you want to get rid of your natural gas furnace, Clean Air Furnace will give you $1,500, no questions asked, whatever amount of money you make. Second column, you want to get people still to use gas-powered lawnmowers at their home, we'll give you up to $250 off for state-of-the-art, all-electric, cordless lawnmower. I got the one 20 years ago. It was great for 10 years. Like the technology in electric cars has advanced, so is the technology you'll see in a moment on electric equipment, lawn equipment. Third one, you want to get an electric car, we'll give you $250 off for a charger. If you make under a certain amount, we'll give you $500 off. And chargers price anywhere from $400 to about the one I got from ChargePoint a few months ago, $850. Finally, to replace your ride, and Mayor, a lot of your residents have taken advantage of this. I hope you do more because we have a lot more money. If you turn in an old polluting gas car, it could be maybe 1998, 1995, just get like a 2010 gas car, get a plug-in hybrid, an all-electric car, get a hydrogen fuel cell. We'll give you, depending on your income, up to $9,500 off. We'll scrap that old car and just get a cleaner burning car or electric one. Or if you don't want a car, we've had several residents, we worked on this, we had a couple little blips, but we're giving out state-of-the-art battery-powered bikes. So we've used several of those, or transit passes forever. Next. A lot of money available, Mayor. This first program on the left is up to 85% off. Right now, these are for commercial gardeners, for cities, et cetera. Right now, there's a program at the state, about $50 million left. If you have any mom and pop gardeners in the city, let them know. They'll get up this different than this program. It's about 70% off. Don't have to turn anything in. They can just apply. And tomorrow, we'll be in South Pass at Garfield Park from 9 to 1, demonstrating for the gardeners. Let them touch the equipment, try the equipment for 4 hours. We're doing it all that part of the area. Pasadena will be doing it in a few weeks. So our program just started this week, basically. 85% off, Mr. Mayor, for cities. If you have a contractor that does it, they can take advantage. If your city employees do it, they can take advantage. If the school district wants to do it, and the kids there, this is more polluting than a lot of the cars. Actually, in California, starting last year, lawn equipment is now a bigger source of pollution in California, in our cities, than cars and light-duty trucks. Operating a gas-powered leaf blower for 1 hour is like driving a car from here to Denver. That much pollution comes out of a leaf blower. So there's money available. We'll have our contractor is on contract with South Coast. Come to your city, come to your school district. We'll bring all the equipment. They can try it for 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 months, and then we'll get them in a program. But get in there quick because LA Unify last time took all the money. They got a lot of these riding lawnmowers, et cetera. If I was to turn on a gas-powered leaf blower, I'd have to turn it off in 2 seconds because we'd be gassed out. We'll do a quick demonstration. Tim will show you. This is a state-of-the-art handheld. There's even more powerful battery packs, but this is offered in a program. It's still the German manufacturer. Powerful unit, goes for about 45 minutes. Batteries are interchangeable, pull them out every couple of minutes. The backpack blower would go for probably an hour and 45 minutes. Tim, will you demonstrate that to the staff? Go ahead. Thank you, Tim. If anybody wants a demonstration, Tim will come up there too.
Can we do that one more time so we can get it on video?
So this is actually great. I was talking to some of your residents outside in the morning, and we were telling about this. I was just at Alhambra a few months ago, and Pasadena, Glendale, Glendale, 3/4 of their parks now electric. Pasadena is going electric. Pasadena, Glendale ourselves have passed an ordinance banning gas-powered leaf blowers. We're going to start enforcing it very soon. But can you imagine that's like a vacuum cleaner, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. We're now woken up by a loud sound. There's a lot of money available, Mr. Mayor. At the bottom, that little shuttle van right there, we access some money from the state. We administer a lot of state programs too. $70,000 off that to get rid of the gas or the compressed natural gas, get that. If you got any companies in town that have large trucks, there's money available for the next couple of months to get rid of their diesel trucks, get natural gas, or even electric trucks from Daimler Trucks or Volvo, which have a long range. Next. This is money that's available right now. You've used, Mr. Mayor, your city in the last, since 2008, $1,500, one of the highest of my 34 cities. Anything from replace your ride, a lot of residents getting new cars. At the bottom of that first rectangle, it says funding available, Carl Moyer through May 9th. Again, as you're going through your budget next few months, if you need to get rid of any public works vehicles, I would do that. Any shuttles, that's where we got the money from that fund, up to $70,000, $100,000, depending on the size of the vehicle. Any type of medium duty, heavy duty vehicles you have in your fleet. Look at that. The middle one, you have to apply for money, and you've already applied for that money. We got a little fund there. At the bottom, this is AB 2766, important. Every person registers a car in your city, $4, 40% of that goes to your city every single year, nonstop. Every year they register, 40% of $4 of every single vehicle goes to your city. So if you look at the bottom, and I'll tell you what happened in Laverne the other night. So you had in 2021, 500,000, you used 90, you've probably got over 400,000 sitting in a fund. So they talked to Laverne, had a little less than that, about the same amount. They weren't even basically aware it was there. It was kind of a new staff had come in, interchanging. And we got a call the next day from staff, said, tell us how we can use this money. At this next budget, how can we use this 400,000 that's sitting in this fund? So it's got to be used for reducing mobile source pollution. You can get more chargers all around the city, purchase more electric plug-in vehicles. We've used some of this money actually through the middle one, but we're using our money at the bottom too in South Pass. We're transitioning a lot of our vehicles to electric, but we're even transitioning our entire police fleet. So we studied this for several years. A number of places study transition 1 or 2, half the fleet. We're doing the whole fleet at once. We've been delivered 10 Tesla Model 3s, the number 2 selling car in California, and 10 Model Ys for our patrol fleet, the number 1 selling car and the safest car in the world. Our police will be in it. It's right now at the upfitter. I was in SpaceX and up in Unplugged last Tuesday, watching them take apart the car. We've got 60 components in. We only need 40 more, and the supply chain's holding it up. But in a couple months, when you're going through South Pass, if you see a Tesla behind you, it may not be a Tesla, maybe a police officer. So it can be used for anything like that that reduces mobile source pollution, even purchasing electric lawn equipment. Next. On the left, if any of your small businesses that get a permit from us or need some assistance, myself, Rainbow, our staff will be out there to assist you. Let us know. The city manager called us. Call me direct. Let me know what it is. I know there's a meeting coming up. Let me know that meeting date because I'd like to also attend, and our staff is willing to help. At the bottom, if there's a complaint, you've got something that you smell an odor, there's dust. I'll give you an example. San Fernando, Rainbow, and I were just here a few weeks ago. Councilmember Montanez used to be an assembly member. She said, Mayor, we've got all this dust at the schools. We've got odors. What do? Call that number. And I'll tell you, I'll call our staff. Our investigators will go out tomorrow. They went out to the All-American Asphalt plant, which is in San Fernando. They were closed that day. We sent them out the next day. They must have known we were there because they were outside watering everything down. But we went in, we said, you don't have all the records. You're supposed to keep records of when you water. And we gave them a little notice, you got to clean up. And we went to the school that had complained and the park that had complained and neighbors. We handed everybody just a flyer. Here's what they call 800 number. If you smell something, feel something, let us know. We'll come out, work with the company, work with you. We want your health protected. The second column, there's a free app. And every time I go to my cities, Mr. Mayor, on the train, I was just coming in here, I pulled it up and I pulled up our app to see what your air quality is today. And if it's green, which it is, it's great news. You're on 41, which is under 50, which is incredible. Probably a little better than Pomona, but we won't say anything about Pomona. But every time I go, Pomona had about a 49 when I was here. You're doing a little bit. But it's true. The air quality changes in shifts. So some days we're actually better than Malibu. Third one, we've got permanent air quality monitors throughout the basin. So if you've got something on, we can check on it. Finally, people can go buy air quality sensors at the store. We've got an air quality sensor performance evaluation center in Diamond Bar. We'll tell you if they're any good, if they work. Next one, final one. And call Tim, myself, Rainbow, whatever you can do, Mr. Mayor. We're here to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us today. Goes hand in hand with our Arbor Day and Earth Day celebration. And you bring up some really good information. I think it's really important that we connect with you. And Sam, you can connect with Michael, especially on the potential funding for electric vehicle conversion. We just, I think we're working on a grant with SEE to install chargers along 2 of our corridors, especially at our Metrolink station. And we're also working on the potential of electrifying some of our fleets, excluding our bus fleet, as we want to make sure that the cars that are always on in the city are a little bit cleaner to help reduce that smog and help clean up our air. It does affect our community, especially in the development phases, right? So we want to make sure people are healthy. So you're here right on time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any questions from anybody, Mr. Mayor?
I just want to say it's always a pleasure to have you here in council. I was actually mentioning to our city manager, our CEO, Enrique, because I had missed seeing you here with the electric lawnmowers, but this was a much better, more exciting presentation. I don't know. I think that left an impression. I think we're all going to have an eye now next time we go to, where would we find an electric blower like this?
Oh my God, they're all at all the stores. So
Lowe's, Home Depot.
Lowe's, Home Depot have them.
Okay.
And right before the meeting, Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Sandoval was blowing off all your hardscape. So it works really well.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe we could get him to do the other side of the.
Well, on the way, I will do the other side. I promise, Mayor.
A little bit of dust here on the dais. Well, thank you. And it's always a pleasure to work with South Coast AQMD. And I do want to mention that we've had a long-standing relationship with Rainbow. And at every opportunity, I always mention a tree grant that we applied for back in 2008. We didn't get it the first round, but we got it the second. And I think we were able to, that was like a $50,000 or $100,000 grant. So that's where we were able to plant the trees along Francisquito Avenue, was through a South Coast AQMD grant. And, so I want to share that it's been a long-standing relationship and one that's appreciated. So thank you for sharing all this information. We appreciate it, and for the partnership.
Thank you.
And in case we didn't mention, we have Mayor Tim Sandoval. We want to thank you I know you're here in the capacity as a consultant, but it's a pleasure to have you here at the City of Baldwin Park. Okay, have a good night.
Thank you. All right, and so we're going to go ahead and continue. And we are at public communications, so I will open public communications. City Clerk, is there anybody looking to speak?
Mr. Mayor, I've received one email, so if Mark, you can run the clock. Good evening, Mayor Estrada, Mayor Pro Tem Garcia, council members Avila, Damian, and Ayala, staff, community members. My name is Ralph Galvan, and I'm your board member on the Valley County Water District. I apologize for not being there in person, but I'm writing in to invite the entire community to our water awareness celebration on May 5th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our Lansing plant facility. It will be a drive-through event with much educational information, free giveaways, and churros. I also invite the entire community to our community gathering on Wednesday, May 31st, 5:30 p.m. at our new Water District headquarters. We will discuss upcoming projects, drought updates, rate overview, grants, and funding awards and accomplishments. I'll also like to mention I'm excited that the Valley County Water District will be assisting the City of Baldwin Park in the Baldwin Park High Efficiency Toilet and Shower Head Replacement Program. Let's save our residents money and let's save water. Lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to the entire team. Good job on the State of the City address. Another shout out to Mayor Pro Tem Garcia, City Clerk Christopher Sines, and your staff who were present at the WELL conference this past Saturday. As always, I'm here to serve my community as your board member on the Valley County Water District. And any questions, please call me at my cell at 626-869-7702 or by email at rgalvan@vcwd.org. Thank you for your time and all that you do for the community. Have a great evening and God bless.
Thank you. Any other requests?
That concludes all requests received.
Great. If there's anybody looking to speak that didn't fill out a sheet, now is your time.
Buenas tardes. Voy a hablar en español, si me puede interpretar, por favor. Gracias. Buenas tardes, Mayor Estrada, council members y staff de nuestra ciudad. Mi nombre es Beatriz Sandoval. Soy residente de la ciudad de Baldwin Park. También soy un parishioner en San Juan Bautista, la iglesia católica de nuestra ciudad, y también soy un miembro, un organizador comunitario con LA Boys. Esta tarde estoy aquí porque tengo algunas preocupaciones. Como un líder en mi iglesia y un líder en mi comunidad, estoy expuesta a escuchar la historia de muchos residentes y en este caso traigo la historia del señor José Martínez, un residente que vive cruzando aquí la calle Downey, y este señor recibió en el junio del 2021 un incremento en su renta por $332. En junio del 2022 recibió otro incremento de $80. Ahora el señor, quien es un señor retirado, paga $2,030 de renta. Es un apartamento, no es un condominio, y eso ya lo verifiqué. Mi pregunta es, ¿qué va a pasar con familias como el señor Martínez, quienes recibieron un incremento ilegal, erróneo, inmoral, porque está afectando su familia, su economía? ¿Sí? ¿Qué va a pasar? Muchos de ustedes saben que acaba de terminar las moratorias del condado, las moratorias del estado, incluso la de nosotros, que fue puesta en abril 20 del 2020, y que erróneamente la señora Carol autorizó a uno de los managers de apartamentos de Congo Apartamentos de que podía incrementar la renta aun cuando su firma estaba en esa moratoria. Esta señora llamada Virginia, que no quiere dar su email y su información y se respeta, ha estado aumentándoles la renta a los señores a pesar de la pandemia. Cuando ustedes llamaron a la comunidad a quedarse en casa para prevenir el COVID y el contagio, nosotros, la comunidad, escuchamos a nuestros líderes. Aún con el miedo del riesgo de perder nuestros trabajos, de perder el ingreso con el que podíamos pagar nuestra renta. Aquí mismo están otras compañeras que recibieron incrementos en la renta como yo, que recibí un incremento en junio del 2022. Pero,
Perdón, ya se acabaron los 3 minutos.
Gracias. Mi pregunta es, ¿qué podemos hacer para trabajar en este caso?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. My name is Beatriz Sandoval. I'm a Baldwin Park resident. I'm also member of the parishioner in St. Paul the Baptist and the LA Voice. And I'm here this afternoon with some concerns. First of all, as a leader in my church and in community, I have to mention the case of Mr. Jose Martinez. He received an increment in his rent of $332 previous month. On June 22nd, he received another increment of $80. He is a retired individual who pays $2,330 in rent every month for an apartment. It's not even a condo. And my question is, what's going to happen to the people like Mr. Martinez? This is affecting his family, and with the end of the moratoriums that we're close to the end, they will end on the 20th of this month, we will be in serious situations. Mrs. Carroll, an individual who does not want to show up, authorized the increment even with her signature in the moratorium. Miss Virginia has been increasing the rent. when you called the community to ask us to participate in this moratorium, we heard you and we helped out even by risking or losing our jobs and all the situation. And my question is, what's going to happen now? Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Catherine Lozier, manager of the Baldwin Park Library. Tonight I wanted to share a couple of in-person programs that will be taking place in April at the library, as well as a couple of programs for adults that are virtual. This Saturday, April 8th at 3 p.m., we have a program called Anime Your Way for children ages 7 to 12, as well as their parents or caregivers. Artist Carlos Nieto III will be teaching kids how to create their own anime characters with step-by-step designs. And anybody who's a graphic novel or comic book lover will definitely enjoy that. And then a low-tech program for teens will be taking place on April 15th. It's a Saturday at 3 p.m. Using household objects, we'll experiment with sound waves, and teens will be able to create their own DIY iPhone speakers. Attendance at the programs are limited, so reservations in advance are recommended. You could do that on our website, or feel free to contact us at the library and we can walk you through that. And then the programs for adults, the virtual programs, are part of our Work Ready series. This Work Ready series has two components. One, you can work with one of our Work Ready libraries and check out a laptop for an extended period of time to help you or somebody you know get a job or develop career skills. The other component is online programming. The online programs that we have this month in April take place on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. from 11 to 12:15. The three programs that we have are on April 11th, how to get an LA County job. Over 100,000 people are employed by LA County, and you'll get to know some of the ways to find a job and to apply for a job. Then on April 18th, we have careers in skilled trades. This will be a panel that will include a mechanic, a carpenter, and an electrician. You'll find out how to get started and to succeed in the skilled trades. And then on April 25th, we have resume basics. Resumes are a way to get into the door and get yourself seen. And established career coach Liz Moeller will teach people how to walk through that process and create a resume that will get you noticed. And if you're not available on those days and times, the LA County Library does have many of these programs recorded and you can watch on demand. You can visit our website, lacountylibrary.org, to get a link straight to the YouTube page to find them. Thank you all so much for all that you do, and have a wonderful evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Javier Vargas, President of the Baldwin Park Kiwanis. I'm here to share a couple of projects that we have going on. One of them, for those who don't know, the Kiwanis Club is a volunteer organization dedicated to improving the world and one child and one community at a time. The first project we have going on is a scholarship that we are offering to graduating seniors, which is a $500 scholarship, who have demonstrated the commitment to serving their community and school. And for those of you who know the seniors in the district, they can look up for the application at baldwinparkkiwanis.org/scholarship. I want to thank the city for allowing us to put that on the website and the marquee. Thank you. Our second project is our second annual golf tournament on June 16th at 1 p.m. at California Country Club. Looking forward to having some of the city staff and city police as some of the teams. I already spoke to Chief. Thank you, Enrique, for being one of the sponsors, and Councilman Damian as well last year. This tournament is going to allow us to bring more scholarships next year and maybe raise the amount. Also, the projects that we do, beautifying the city, just like Baldwin Park Beautiful. And we also sponsor the Key Clubs at the high schools which will allow us to donate some of that money to them for their projects. So we're looking forward to the collaboration, and also we're looking for some sponsors, more sponsors for the tournament. So you can follow us on our social media or our website at bpkiwanis.org. Thank you for your time and looking forward to the collaboration. Thank you.
Okay, buenas noches, me llamo Abel, business owner por 40 años. Okay. Buenas noches, me llamo Abel, dueño de negocio por 40 años y vivo en Baldwin Park. Mi pregunta es esta, necesitamos algo, reforzar más la ciudad porque en esa área que yo estoy insistiendo siempre está ya tenemos París Tijuana, ahí ¿qué hacemos para limpiar ahí? Hay que hacer algo porque diario vemos problemas, mucho grafiti y no estamos limpiando. O me dan la pintura, yo lo hago de voluntario, ¿ok? Porque hay que empujar esa gente porque ya tienen ropa colgada por todos lados, muebles ya del lado derecho y izquierdo. Y también hay un problema de que la Waste Management, la compañía de la basura, está dando multas. Me da seguido multas que porque el bote está contaminado. Yo no puedo decirle a mis clientes pongan esto aquí, esto acá. Yo no los ando cuidando, ¿verdad? Tengo un bote industrial, comercial, que por eso pago mi basura muy cara, pero ellos me mandan la multa y no sé qué podemos hacer ahí también para que le paren ya ellos de dar multas. Aquí en el Parque Morgan también creo que venden drogas entre la gente ahí. He pasado ahí juegan baraja, ves, todos y venden drogas. Y hay que cooperar todos para que estemos limpiando la ciudad, porque si no hacemos nada, hay que echarle ganas, porque estamos un poquito atrasados en limpiar. Ya es todo, gracias.
Good evening. My name is Abel. I've been a resident in Baldwin Park for over 40 years. And my question is, we need to do more cleanup in this area that I mentioned before. It's the same area that there's a lot of graffiti, and I do clean it myself. I do the work voluntarily, but I cannot do it all the time. These people are getting out of hand. They hang up their clothes there. There's furniture there. And then there's another issue with waste management and the fines that they're giving people. They're giving fines because the trash bins are being contaminated. And I cannot tell my clients how to dispose of the trash. I cannot be doing that. So we have to do something to stop those fines. In the area of Morgan Park, there's a lot of drug consumption. They also play cards in that area. And we have to clean the city. We have to do a better job. We're falling behind. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Right. Nobody else is looking to speak.
Buenas noches, Mayor de la ciudad y todos los miembros de aquí del City Hall. Yo soy el señor José Martínez, que mencionó la señora Beatriz, y si es verdad todo lo que ella les confirmó aquí, y los servicios legales de Los Ángeles no me han resuelto nada. No han hecho nada todavía. Entonces, pues mi pregunta es si pueden hacer algo respecto a eso. Gracias.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. My name is Jose Martinez, as the lady has mentioned before. And I have to say that all that what she had said is true. The legal services office in Los Angeles haven't done anything for me yet. So I'm here to ask you, can you help me out? Can you do something? Thank you.
All right, looking that nobody else is looking to speak, I will move to close public communication.
Mayor, if I may, just a
Yes.
brief comment before we close public speaking. I just wanted to, we received an email after the March 15th council meeting, and I just want to apologize. At the March 15th council meeting, there was a text message that was sent to me from a resident who was ill at the time and was not able to be here to make public comment. I just took it upon myself to read the text message and just, verbatim read what she was speaking about. After reading the email, I realized that it was out of protocol. There's no reason why I should have read the, public comment out of my text message. So she did bring light to me on that. So I felt that I did need to apologize for that. In the future, if any resident or anyone wants to make a public comment and they're not able to either call in or be in person, you follow protocol by emailing the city clerk, and you can email him at csaenz, SAENZ @baldwinpark.com, or you can email comments@baldwinpark.com. And that will go to him, and then he would read it into the record or put it into the record. But it is not for us as council members to read public comments out of our text messages. So I just want to take ownership of that and say that I apologize. There was no intention to that. I just basically read it, not thinking anything of it. So I just want to apologize for that, Mayor. Thank you.
Mayor, really quick. Enrique, if you can just follow up on this gentleman's request on the rental property on Puente, please. I believe you have all the information, correct?
We will follow up. In fact, right now at this moment, we'll get all the information. Mr. Martinez, Imelda, if you can talk with Mr. Martinez, please.
Right, so we will go ahead and move on to our consent calendar. Is there any items council is looking to pull from the consent calendar?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to pull item 10.
Mr. Mayor, the public comments needs to be closed.
Yeah, so public comment is officially closed. So we're moving on to a consent calendar. So items 1 through 10, pulling 10, items 1 through 11.
Mayor, I think it's 1 through 13, right?
Yeah, 1 through 13.
Let me go ahead and pull number 13.
All right, so we'll make a motion to,
Mayor?
yes, so I will make a motion to pass items 1 through 13, and we are going to withdraw number 3 from the agenda.
Thank you.
Completely. And we will pull items 10 and 13 for discussion. That is a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
All right. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great. Thank you for that. So item number 10, Councilmember Damian, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. So I pulled item 10 because I know that we've used Lorraine Mendez as a consultant in the past. So I did have a couple of questions, Ron. So according to the staff report, it shows that we're going to do an amendment to the contract, basically a new contract for an additional $60,000 on this agreement. It shows that there's going to be CDBG admin fund of 30,571 that will be used, and then 4,460 of home ARP admin funds available. So we would cover the rest from the general fund, correct?
No, council member. So right now, currently on our current fiscal budget,
Got it, yeah.
while the remainder of the fiscal year will cover that, and then as we go through the next fiscal year, budget 23-24, we will budget the remaining.
From the same CDBG and home ARP
Correct.
fund. Got it,
That is
okay.
correct.
And so I've got a couple of questions for you, Ron, and I know that, so the CDBG funds that we have for administration cost, let's just presume that we're not going to be using a consultant, and we don't use these funds for the consultant services. What else are we allowed to use these funds for? What can we pay for out of these admin funds?
So out of the admin funds, obviously we can use those admin funds for consulting services to do the work that was outlined in the staff report that helps assist us with meeting those requirements, HUD reporting requirements. Admin, the other admin funds that can be used out of CDBG, for example, the service grants that's taken out of the admin for CDBG, which will be coming to the council soon, at the next council meeting.
Ron, the allocation that is permissible for administrative costs is 15%, right, of the total grant, or is it 25%?
15%.
15%. So in effect, if we don't use any of the 15%, then it can be reprogrammed for program work for, benefits for the constituents, for the public. So, but up to 15% we can use for administration costs.
Got it, and the remainder can be used for the community.
Yes.
So
That is correct.
part of these administration costs, would these be able to cover, let's just say, for example, we open it up to bring in additional staff. Would this help us cover for part of that cost as well? Are we able to pay our own staff from these funds?
Yes, part of CDBG can cover labor costs for work, for example, working on any specific type of CDBG activity. Some of those funds and separately can be used for labor costs.
And for this particular purpose, the reason why we're using the consultant is for the HUD reporting, same as in the prior year for 21. HUD reporting.
That is
That's the
correct. Yes,
biggest-
that's to continue the work for the next, for this current fiscal, and then also for future fiscal year, 23-24, and also part of fiscal year 23-24 is preparation for 24-25.
So are we anticipating to continue to use this consultant in the future? Or do we have a game plan to where we are going to say, well, we're going to use this consultant now because we need to report this to HUD and, it's time sensitive, but we have a plan to where this work is going to continue to be conducted in-house? Or is this going to be the new normal where we're going to depend on a consultant to be able to get us this HUD reports and whatever else she's doing?
To be fully transparent, so most of the work that is required most of the work that is prepared by the consultant cannot be done in-house. Perfect example, the home ARP plan that was submitted to HUD, that was with the assistance of the consultant. That cannot be taken on in-house. So future-wise, for now, given the turnover in staff and staff shortage within the department, it's been the consultant has been very, very helpful in making sure that we're meeting those deadline requirements with HUD. I think in the long term, for right now, given the current staff shortage and the turnover that we've experienced, I think at some point we may go out to select another consultant, but for now, this just gives us the opportunity to continue to provide, continue to meet those requirements, so that way we don't have any hiccup during this time. But I think in the future, as we complete this work and we are able to fill positions and get a little comfortable with where we're at right now within the department, I do see the opportunity to probably open it up. Again, this is an existing contract that was approved a couple of years ago. So this is just an amendment. This wouldn't be an entirely new contract, but it would be an amendment to the existing contract and additional allocation funds.
Got it.
That makes sense.
So I know that in the past, the HUD reporting had been done in-house by the prior housing manager. So is it now a little bit more difficult because of COVID, we have the home funds, and that's just something new to report? And I know that this is before your time, and I know that we need to get the housing department up to par, but I'm just trying to understand the bigger picture here. And I'm trying to understand if the consultant is going to be the new normal, or is this something that we're going to eventually be able to bring back to conduct in-house? And if it is that we need more staff to get this housing department up to par, then, that's something that we need to look at, because from my understanding, I think that we're able to house how many people right now? 400, 450 people that we're able to house with the vouchers, Section 8?
Well, the Housing Authority has the capacity of 913. But right now we have about 480 that we're currently that currently have Section 8 vouchers that the Housing Authority maintains.
So we want to make sure that we try to house the maximum, which is about 900 or whatever it is, because in a sense with HUD, the more people we house, the more funding we obtain. So, maybe we need to look into how we can invest to bring staff in to be able to house at the capacity. And this way we're able to bring in more funding from HUD, which will also help us with the administrative costs. So maybe it's something that we want to look into, because I'm going to be honest with you, I would rather have our staff and pay our staff than to be paying outside consultants to handle these issues. On the topic, Enrique, have we received the single audit yet?
We have not. So we've completed one single audit for the year 2021. We're going through the year 2022, and so there's been some deficiencies that were identified, and so we're working through the 2021 as we complete the 2022. And going back to your earlier question, what should we use consultants versus staff? I think right now, as Ron indicated, it's a question of capacity, and when it becomes a question of expertise, that's sort of like how we could best present to the city council what would be best to augment existing staff, by bringing in additional positions. That's true, frankly, in every operation of our city organization. When is it best to use consultants versus trying to bring people in-house? And that's a question we should always be asking and presenting to the city council on what we believe is best. For now, it's a question of capacity, staff capacity, which is why having consultants help us with this. It's 2 reports that need to be submitted annually that this person is helping us out. So we can best answer your question, as Ron did, for the next 2 years. While we believe that we're going to stay with a consultant beyond that, I think we should self-reflect on that and see whether it makes sense to hire one additional person. And, it can be at a higher level, and that's always the question. I mean, tomorrow we have our budget retreat for 2023-24 for you to look at what we will end up proposing to you as the budget for the 23-24 year. And those are the sort of questions we analyze all of the time. Is it time to ask for staff?
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because I know that we need to bring the housing back. We need to bring it up to par. It's a very important department within our city, and I've had a lot of customers. Yeah, I'm not at the office. A lot of residents complain that they are not able to get through to housing. They go to the counter, they're closed. I believe we're only open 2 days a week, or maybe a few hours out of that week. So we really need to look into that department and figure out how we're going to be able to get that department up to par, because the way I look at it right now is we're failing our residents. We are. I mean, we have to bring that department up to par, and we need to figure out what it is that we need to do. If we need to bring in a new staff or more staff, then let's review it. Let's see what we can do, what we have with, but we need to be able to have options so that we can see what makes more sense, right? We need to also make sure that we have the availability to be able to pay. But that's the reason why I was asking about the CDBG and those administrative fees, if we're able to, incorporate them into bringing in staff. Do you know when we're going to be able to see as a council the single audit for the housing?
It's whether we will definitely communicate it over to you, and then if you prefer that we also present it in the council meeting, then we will do that. But we will be transmitting it to you via email and paper, and then we can present it in an actual meeting if that's what you would prefer.
Yeah, send it to us in an email. That way it gives us time to be able to review it, because I know it's going to be lengthy. And then that way, if we have any questions, we can, write them down or whatever it is. But
Sure.
I don't have any further questions unless any of my council colleagues have any questions.
Mayor?
Yes, Councilwoman Avila.
Yes, an approximate when we would receive that audit, do you have an idea?
Yeah, I think within the next 3 weeks or so for the 2021 single audit. Rose, the email?
Okay, and then I just want to refer back to what Councilmember Damian said about not having enough employees here to represent and to help our community members. We do need to look into the staffing because it is important that somebody's there available the 4 days out of the week that we are open, because there's urgent situations that come up and then there's nobody there. And staffing is important. I would much rather go with having staff here, that is the city staff, than going outside. I understand at this time we do have to hire somebody else to make sure that we are up to date. But in the past, like Councilmember Damian said, it was done in-house. So we need to look into hiring, looking at our budget, of course, hiring somebody that's experienced in doing that and making sure that everything is being filed on time. And so our residents have the right answers when needed.
Absolutely.
Right, if no one else has any questions, I know that this is time sensitive, and I know that we need to get these reports to HUD, so I will go ahead and make a motion to approve item 10.
Second.
Thank you.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Mayor Emmanuel Estrada,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Right, thank you for that, City Clerk. We are down to item 13. Mayor Pro Tem, you have the floor.
Okay, yes, so thank you. I was going through this report and I saw that the funding would possibly come from the general fund, and I wanted to ask, it just seems like a program that would be, it matches, it fits the ARPA funding, especially since it's COVID related. So given that general funds are so limited and also very flexible to help, other programs, I wanted to ask if we consider the ARPA and what the thinking was there.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Garcia. The ARPA is an option, and why we resorted to the general fund is that many of our stakeholders and tenants, particularly tenants, not so much the landlords, but certainly the tenants that require assistance, also have the compounding effect, the compounding circumstance of being undocumented. And the federal funding comes with the string that it cannot be used for folks who are not permanent residents or citizens. So that created an incredible burden for the previous firm that we had helping us, and to the point that it became overbearing in always being so probing in the questioning. And then the documentation that needed to be maintained for audit purposes for the federal funds, that applies to ARPA as well because it's a federal fund. So we want to be careful on how we tap federal funding for this and not string the firm or the entity who's helping us to the point that they become so frustrated and they no longer want to help us out. That's why we felt that having the general fund for cases where it's the population of customers of undocumented legal status, and it's with no restrictions.
I see. Yeah, because that's exactly right. The general fund is without restriction, or it's very flexible. Could we consider like a hybrid program? Because, you know, I understand that there are certain requirements that, you know, need to be met with ARPA. And I can't imagine every instance, you know, would be the scenario you just described. So could we do a hybrid?
Yes, we can. And part of why this SureLaw is also very promising is that they themselves have funding that they are going to leverage at no cost to us, but some of it is also federally funded, so they're restricted in that way. But we will try to tap other non-general fund for your direction, and only restrict general fund for the undocumented cases.
Okay, yeah, that's I think.
We can.
Thank you.
Without it becoming so overbearingly bureaucratic that, you know, they spend more time doing paperwork than actually helping the folks.
Well, an organization like Churlish is sophisticated enough to push paperwork, but I agree with you. I mean, it's about making it as easy and accessible, right? But I also don't want it just to be the easy path, you know, because I do recognize that ARPA would require some of that documentation. So if we could take into consideration that we have limited general funds, and you know, wherever we can use other funding, especially since that funding was designed to assist with COVID-19, you know, related issues. But yeah, I trust that you guys will look at something that is a hybrid so that we can preserve our general fund as much as possible. So I trust that. So I'll just go ahead and make the motion to approve.
I have a couple of questions.
Oh, go ahead.
So how do we come up on the decision to connect with Churla?
Well, for one, it's not yet a decision. I was just wanting to give you somewhat of an advanced information that we're working with SureLaw, but they came up as we saw our previous service provider, the neighborhood legal services of LA, who we had brought on board previously to help on a $50,000 federal grant from CDBG. And so they helped us for 6 months. I know there was some questions as to their efficacy and whether they were indeed touching the sort of the customer base that we expect them to do. And so what had happened is toward the end of their engagement, which was last February, and they told us, they said, you know, we are no longer going to help you on contract. They still help people under their general mission because they're all funded to help folks who go to them for help. So they will continue to do that, as does SureLaw, as do the Housing Rights Center as well. These are all community interest, public interest entities that will help anyone that comes to them. But the NLSA folks no longer wanted to help us out on contract, meaning with dedicated help for just Baldwin Park residents. And they cited a number of things. One of them was the challenge of the federal grant and the burden that it puts on them to keep all of this, not just the paperwork, but always having to ascertain whether someone is here legally or not. And so they essentially said, we are not interested in continuing to help you out on contract. So that left us with no entity to be able to refer them to for help on a dedicated basis. And we contact several, really not much of an interest, but through a series of contacts, we landed on SureLaw because they also address the issue of the category of undocumented clients, since that had been their original charter mission to help undocumented folks go through a process of legalization. So I said, ooh, perfect. So we reached out to them, and through a series of conversations, they had recently expanded their service platform to include housing rights for tenants and landlords. And said, oh, more of a good match, almost perfect match, but definitely a good match. And so we've been working with them for the last 3-4 weeks. And let me just say, it's not always easy to, right now, all these entities are very overwhelmed with requests and calls and what have you, but they've been responsive of late. So much so that now we have a tentative preliminary understanding, not yet an agreement. That's why I wanted to give you an advance notice that we may, in hoping first meeting in May, for us to bring an agreement recommendation to contract with SureLaw for dedicated help for our city, as opposed to their general help.
Yeah, so I just want to double check, right? Because if you're talking about one nonprofit wasn't okay with doing the concentrated focus with the grant, and then you go to another nonprofit and they might have that same issue where they're focused on a general appeal. We want to make sure, and then if SureLaw's, this is very recent for them, we don't really have time to not make sure that we're going to get experienced people to take care of these tenant protections. They're very time sensitive, they're very sensitive in general, making sure that these families are not going to get exploited during that time frame, right? Where we're seeing a lot of these people, they're still fighting it, they're still having to pay those increases or whatever is coming to them. So, and not only that, but based on contract forms, we want to make sure that we're comparing prices and we're comparing services from others. I would really recommend that we do at least some exploring and see what the differences are so that we can also validate this contract a little bit better.
Yeah, and we're definitely trying to do that, Mayor, and we obviously now we're running out of time. I mean, folks now you obviously heard the cases that of us needing to help now, but we're comfortable enough with SureLaw, and in fact, they would have somebody in person, ideally at the Family Services Center, so that folks can go and seek their help in person, not just over the phone. So that's all in the works right now. We're hoping to have an agreement in the next 2 weeks and then be able to bring it to City Council. But we're not talking a lot of money. I mean, obviously, any amount of money from the general fund is too much. But for the kind of help that's needed, I think for as much as this is such a high priority for you, the council, we believe if somewhere in the neighborhood of 50,000 would be appropriate.
And how many days will they be available?
So right now we're looking at one full day, but we can go past that. We can do more.
Okay, so let's say
1 full day a week. I'm sorry.
we have an urgent matter that happens, and it's the day that they're not here. Would they be able, our residents be able to reach them on an off day that they're not with our city? Because as you know, there are situations that come up of urgency because the tenant did not know what to do, didn't know where to go, and then suddenly, they realize they can come to the city, but now they only have 1 day or 2 days left.
So-
And it's a day that they're not available and they won't be available for the next few days. So what do we do from there?
Yes, Councilmember Avila, I'm sorry. I'm saying 1 day for in-person help,
Okay.
direct help, filling out a form.
Uh-huh.
But the rest of the time, they're available by phone and email and everything else.
And I know you said now they are being responsive. I'm just a little concerned that how responsive they will be on a daily basis. I want to make sure that we have an organization that will be responsive immediately, because these concerns, as I said, sometimes it's a last minute situation that they're already having to go to court maybe the next day, which I know it won't be Sherla's fault, but we need to be able to provide some kind of service to the tenant immediately. I just want to make sure that they will be responses, that we're calling and they will pick up and they will have an answer and they will reach out to the tenant and offers some type of help or solution.
Which is why we want to have the dedicated help as opposed to their general help, because the general help can be impossible.
And just for clarification, Enrique, this is not an agreement. This is just to work. I'm bringing them in. So when they come back, they can give us a presentation as to what they're going to do, what services will they provide, what the cost is going to be to us. And then at that point in time, we can decide.
Yeah, we're hoping what we bring to you next will be the agreement, but then it'll come with a presentation. Yeah.
So with that, I'll make the motion to approve this item.
I'll second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you for that. So now we are down to our reports of officers. Item 14, adoption of resolution number 2023-006 for city council appointment of official representatives and alternatives to various agencies and organizations. Enrique, do you have any comments or plans for this item?
Yeah, it was one of the committee assignments that we had recommended, but you already had acted on that one. I'm sorry. The rest is any which preference that any of the members would like to self volunteer to be on any of the committees, which, we can take it one at a time, Mayor.
Sure, so I guess I'll start it off. I would like to keep my my current positions. I don't know if anybody else is looking to change or swap. If so, now is your time.
No, I'm with you. I'll keep my current positions.
Wherever you see my name, if that's what you want, you can take it.
You're offering it up.
Mine are up for grabs too, if anybody wants to.
Yeah, so there is a former council member Hernandez positions. So I guess we'll hand it off to Councilwoman.
I have a comment, and I had a conversation with Enrique regarding it. My only concern is if there's anything during school day, I cannot have it.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with the commissions. They're very hard to adapt to sometimes. I think there's only one main one, and that's the water one. Is that correct? Water Association?
Right.
Is there a benefit to us being part of the Water Association?
Not if it comes with a membership fee. We have to really look at that. I think if it would be okay with you coming up with the designees, and then we can speak with each designee as to the value proposition, such as what you asked. Because, case in point being SCAG as an example, which is one of the entities here. SCAG comes with a $9,000 a year, I think it's $8,000 a year membership, and I would like to be able to discuss that with the designee in terms of the value proposition, whether it's something that is worth continuing.
Okay. Well, I think the only concerning one is the water one. I am the alternate. Nobody's interested. I'll become the representative. And then if Councilwoman Ayala's okay, we'll put her as the alternate in all the empty positions. There might be
I'll be the alternate.
There might be a day where you might be able to attend one of these, and then we can finish this up. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but he was talking about section 1.
Oh, yeah. So sections, what about section 6? Are you able to make that?
Yeah, I'm good with section 6.
Okay, so we got you on 1, Representative. And then Councilwoman Avila, you're okay with being alternate? Great. So it seems like we're okay with keeping all of them. And then, yeah, so we're keeping all of our positions and we're just changing really the alternates and then section 6 for Councilwoman Ayala.
What about section 9?
I'll be the alternate.
You want to be there? Okay.
Okay, yeah, so she'll take over the alternate positions.
She'll take Paul's positions.
Correct.
That's 9.
All right, any more suggestions? Not? Sounds like we sorted this out. Make a motion to approve those mentioned changes. Can I get a second?
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, thank you for that, City Clerk. And then I just want to really ask, I do want to ask staff to reach out to the Unified School District and get on the collaborative and try to set up a meeting for the foreseeable future. I think there are some stuff.
Yeah, we're working on dates. Still hasn't been these, but we'll come up with a date.
Great, okay. And now we have the,
After next week.
so we have the consideration and approval of professional service agreements with Ecotech Services and the Home Depot Incorporated for the high efficiency toilet and shower head replacement program. And I do want to acknowledge we have Jose, the general manager for the for the San Gabriel
LA
Valley
County Water District.
I can't even speak today. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And then we have President Santana from the Upper San Gabriel Valley Water. And we have some board members in the back. We see Board Member Muse and President Vargas. And now we have one of our staff, Romani. So go ahead.
So yeah, I'll introduce Romani if that's okay. So Mayor, so we prepared a brief presentation to update the council on the high efficiency toilet and shower head replacement program. If you recall, this item was brought to the council back in December. And at that time, we presented the program and the council at that time recognized that we were going alone at it. So the council recognized that and asked us to engage with local water agencies and to see if there was any potential partnerships that we can make. And so we've done just that, and we have an update for the council on the program. We think it's a much better program. And so now I'd like to introduce Romani Basilius, who will give you the update.
So good evening, Mayor, council members, city staff, and members of the audience. So as Sam mentioned, today we're going to present to you the high efficiency toilet and shower head installation program. All right, since this has been presented to you back in December, so I want to go briefly refresh your mind of what has been presented before and focus more about what's new. So we would like to talk about what exactly is this program, why we want to do it, how we're going to do it, and finally, what's new. All right. So under this program, we would like to replace all toilets and shower heads with new high efficiency ones. We're going to provide, deliver, and install with no cost whatsoever for our residents. We're planning to replace up to 1,500 toilets and shower heads for homeowners and renters this time. And we propose to start June of this year to December of next year. So after we got what exactly is this program, why you want to do it. First, saving water. So old toilets use about 5 to 7 gallons per flush, which means an average of 6 gallons. Our new toilets use only 0.8 gallons. By the way, back in December, the toilet we had, it was 1.3. Now we're using a different one, it's 0.8. Later in the presentation, I'm gonna explain why we had to change it. So this one gonna save 4.7 gallons. So if we do some simple calculation, we're gonna find out that for each toilet, we can save up to 170,000 gallons. If we do some calculations, multiply this number by 1,500, we're talking about 256 million gallons of water. About shower heads, old ones use 4 to 6 gallons per minute, an average of 5. So our new shower heads only use 1.5 gallons per minute. That's a saving of 3.2 gallons every minute. So also again, simple calculation, we're gonna find out per each shower head, we can save up to 306,000 gallons per each shower. For the 1,500 shower heads we're gonna install, that's 460 million gallons of water over the coming 10 years. Adding those two numbers, that's a total of 716 million gallons over a period of 10 years. Just to put this number in perspective, this equal to about 35,000 swimming pools. Not even a small one, it's a big one, 35,000. All right, saving water leads to saving money. So right now, this is the current price where our residents pay for each 1 CCF, which is $1.46, and this is the lowest tier. So if we do simple calculation to see how much money we can save, that's over the coming 10 years, that's $1.4 million of saving. But again, as I mentioned last time, we are not gonna stop. This is not really the actual number, because 10 years ago, our residents used to pay only 34 cents per each 1 CCF. That means that in the past 10 years, the price increased 4.3 times. So in the coming 10 years, if the price keeps increasing in the same rate, we are estimating a saving of about $6 million. All right, then how are we gonna do it? We would like to partnership with Home Depot to purchase the toilets because they give us the best price when it comes to purchasing the toilets. And we would like also to partner with Ecotech Service because they give us the best price when it comes to installation. But we are not stopping there. Thanks to our mayor and council members who directed us at last meeting to go and negotiate, as Sam mentioned, with our municipal districts. We're gonna partnership with Valley County Water District. We also gonna partnership with Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District. And finally, with the Metropolitan Water of South California. So how are we gonna do it? Let's see. So let's start with the Metropolitan Water District of South California. They have a toilet rebate program where they give us $40 per each toilet we get to install. However, that toilet has to be used a maximum of 1.1 gallons. That's why last time when we had the one that was 1.3, we had to replace that to be able to get to this program. So they're gonna give us $40 per each toilet, but at the same time, Valley County Water District, they're gonna match that. So they're gonna give us $40 per each toilet, up to 50,000. And I would like to give special thanks to the general manager, Jose Martinez, who worked with us to get the rebate program. But we are not stopping there. We will partnership with Valley, for the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District because they have a water conservation kit. They give me a kit to present to you. All right, so under this kit, it includes a lot of stuff. We have shower heads, so they're gonna provide us with the shower heads. We don't have to purchase them anymore. And I have a lot of tools here that gonna save a lot of money to our irrigation heads, pipes, all kind of tools. So we're talking about shower heads, shower starter, rain bearer nozzles, toilet supply line, and a lot of stuff. Actually, because they give us the shower heads, we are last time we presented to you that we're gonna purchase the shower heads for about $47,000. This is not even including taxes. So now, because they're kit, we are gonna save all this money. And the retail price of this kit is $250. And I also would like to give special thanks to the Upper District Director, Jennifer Santana. All right, so let's compare between what we had back in December and what the cost right now. So this is before. You were paying about $491 for each installation, including one shower head and one toilet. And this is the price right now, $421. I'm gonna go over each item with you. So for the toilet installation cost, we're actually saving $25 per each toilet. The shower head, there is no difference in installation, but for the toilet itself, now it's more expensive because the one we had to get, which is a 0.8 gallon, it's about $47 extra. We are saving the price of the shower head. There was $3 extra for the sales tax, and we're saving $40 from the Valley County Water District and another $40 here from South California. So it's a total saving of $79 per each installation. This is not even counting the $250 that we're giving in the kit. So a total saving per each resident about $329. And for that, I also would give thanks to Enrique and Sam, who led the negotiation with the water districts and give us all this money. So how much we want to spend to this project? We're asking for about $600,000. Last time we asked for $800. This time we're only asking for $600. And this number is not including the money we're gonna get back for the repaid program. So after we count the money we're gonna get back, we're looking into spend about $490,000. We would like use ARPA funds. ARPA funds, this program was meant for projects that invest in water and sewer infrastructure, conserving water, and community benefits. And this program actually check all the boxes. So as we know, we got $22 million from ARPA, half of them from the city set aside, and half for the community set aside, and we would like to use this money from the community set aside. Okay, in order for this program to be successful, we have to promote and advertise on all social media platforms, doing a press release, posting a sign inside Home Depot store, and finally doing an explainer video. And that will complete my presentation, and if you have any questions for me.
Mayor, I have some questions. So what is the cost to the resident?
Zero,
Okay,
nothing.
because it's all city funded in addition to the partnerships. And how does the rebate program work?
So residents can apply. We're gonna put like a form on our city website. They go in, fill out their information. We're gonna contact them. They're gonna provide us with existing condition, and we're gonna check if they qualify. If they qualify, we send the request to our contractor, who will pick up the toilet from Home Depot, or Home Depot gonna deliver it to him, and they're gonna contact the resident and install it for the resident.
Okay, and then, but how does the rebate program work?
So after we finish an installation, we're gonna collect all the information and apply for each rebate program.
So the city is applying for the rebate?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And actually, for just to test, I went to one of the rebate programs. I put one of the resident address and tested and got qualified in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Before you ask that question, can you pass around that kit so we can see it? Like through
Yeah, I
this-
want to see the shower head too.
Okay.
Oh, the kit, sure.
You didn't bring your co-representative today. You didn't bring the AI
Oh
generated.
yeah, I didn't because the
co-host.
audio thing. I have it if you want to see it.
It's okay.
No, 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 it's okay.
Councilmember Avila, I'm sorry. Mayor, may I say something? I just want to piggyback on what she said real quick. That's okay. You mentioned if they qualify for the rebate?
No, they gonna qualify for the rebate.
Everyone's going to qualify for the rebate.
Whatever we gonna process, they have to qualify for the program first. So we're gonna check is this toilet is an old toilet that really consumes a lot of water or not. Have the resident applied before to another program?
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. So once they qualify for our program, so our contractor gonna go and install it. If they qualifies for that, that means they qualify for the rebate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. So
But because
every
say for
request-
example, somebody's applied, and they've gotten it before. You know what I'm saying? How are we going to know if they've applied, received? You know what I mean?
That'll be the
And I see Jose's hand in the back. He's trying to say something.
that'll be the pre.
You know what I'm saying, right? Thank you, Jose.
I'm sure Sam knows the answer, but there's a chance to hop on a mic. I'm going to do it.
You go.
So MWD, they do have a database. So any resident that has participated in the program, the district has never taken on a program such as this, but we have handed out toilets before. So if one of a customer has participated, received a toilet from Valley County, or gone on their own and received a rebate, that they would be in the MWD database and then essentially would not qualify for this program because it would be double dipping on some of
Right.
MWD funds available for that. I'm
Okay.
sure Sam knew that answer.
That was, I guess, that was the reason for my question because we don't want somebody taking from somebody else. Okay, thank you.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes, Councilwoman Avila, go ahead.
So you said that this service will also be available for renters.
Yes.
Now, my question to you is, I feel that maybe some tenants don't pay for their water bill. So are we going to verify that they pay for the water bill? Because I feel
So actually, we're gonna ask the renters to get
proof
approved from the owners because to do any installation in their apartments or
Okay.
house. So they're gonna need to get a letter from the owner of the property.
So what if the owners are the one paying for the water bill? So I feel they will be benefiting, not so much the renters.
Yeah. So can I
Yeah.
give you a comment on that? So I've thought about that, but I think it's also beneficial, right? We have put in a lot of tenant protections. We put in rent control. And so this is kind of also a benefit to the landlord as well, right? And the high cost of bills going up. So in a way, we kind of have to benefit everybody. And hopefully that's one less excuse to raising the rent.
Yes, but I think that the landlord, I think we should focus on making sure the owners of the property, which are the residents, take advantage rather than a landlord that may have 30, 200 apartments, because we are possibly looking at this landlord applying for all their apartments to get this benefit. Do you understand what I'm
I
saying?
see your
So
point, yes.
I would much rather make sure that it's the owner of the property that lives in the property that gets help with this.
Sure. We can make sure that we take care of that.
Yes, you may.
Question. I have a question on, following up on Councilmember Garcia's, the rebate. Who is it exactly that the city is going to apply for the rebate?
So every resident who qualifies for the program, once we send our contractor to install it, we're gonna take picture of the old one, the old toilet, the new one we installed, and we're gonna use this information to apply for that resident. So any resident, first they're gonna apply to us. We're gonna check the database that we're gonna get from Jose and see if that resident already applied before into a different program, then that resident cannot qualify for the repaid program.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, I think I'm confused. So when you say the rebate, we as a city are applying for the rebate for the resident?
Yes.
Okay, who is rebating us back? Who's gonna give us that rebate?
So
Who are we applying to?
The water companies, 2 of them.
Okay, so the ones that are on the staff report?
Exactly.
Okay, so,
The money's coming back to the city.
no, yeah, so we'll get to the money right now. So, okay, so last time when you guys came, you guys were asking for $800,000 to allocate for this.
Yes.
You went back, did whatever you had to do. So now we came back and we're asking for $600,000. So $200,000 less with all of the savings that you just gave us there. So according to your staff report, we have the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California providing $40 per unit, per toilet. So we're installing 1,500 toilets. So that means they're going to contribute $60,000.
Yes.
And then we have the Valley County Water District saying, we're going to come back and match that
Up to 50,000.
up to 50,000. So there's 110,000.
Exactly.
And then we have the Upper San Gabriel Valley Water coming in with a $250 kit.
Yes, the 150. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So how many of these kits are they contributing?
For the whole amount.
1,500.
Yes,
So then in a sense, we're slashing the shower heads, aren't we?
we are.
So why are we still needing $600,000 if we're doing 1,500 shower heads, right?
Because we had to change the toilet we had before.
So now the toilet is up that much more?
Exactly, yes.
It's more money.
Yeah, the toilet is almost $50 extra without tax.
Got it, okay. So in other words, the Upper San Gabriel Valley is gonna basically say, we're gonna take care of the shower heads. So the city of Baldwin Park, Home Depot, and everybody, you don't have to worry about the shower heads other than installing them.
Exactly.
Or are the residents installing these?
No, our contractor.
Okay, so we've got the shower heads taken care of, but now the toilets went up.
Yes.
So we have 110,000 that's being contributed by the Valley County Water and the Metro.
Mhm.
So that's still a lot of money, 600,000, huh?
Yeah, I mean, but with all the savings, the total we are
Well,
paying.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, because with all the savings, I mean, I was happy to see all these savings here. But then when you're still coming back with $600,000,
That's
I'm
still
like,
a
well,
lot.
those savings just
Yeah,
went
yeah.
out the window.
No, but
Because
this
we
is
got savings and we got contributions, you know, so
The
I just want to
600,000
be clear with the numbers.
Yeah, yeah, no, so the saving is without the 600,000, without calculating the saving. So after we do the saving, we only gonna pay 490.
Got it. Okay, so that's gonna, okay, so then we're gonna be out of pocket 490.
Exactly.
get our
In the
money back.
beginning, we're
But-
gonna put down 600,000. After
Okay.
we apply for the repeat programs and we get all the money, we're gonna end up with 490.
After all the three savings together.
Exactly.
We are only gonna be out of pocket 490.
Exactly. So last
That's
time.
what I wanted
wa-
to clarify.
Exactly. So last time we were talking about 800,000. This time we're talking about 490. That's
So you almost got to 50%.
Exactly.
Can you get someone else to do another 90,000 and just go 50% on there?
No, I also want to mention that, yes, the toilet price cost did go up because we have a higher efficient toilet, but the cost of installation went down. So we did negotiate with the contractor. So there's an offset there. So we're saving $25 in installation and the toilet is costing $50 more. So there's a balance out. So at the end of the day, yes, we need to pay for the program up front. That's the 600. But if in a scenario where we install 1,500 toilets and we get all of the rebates, it's only going to be at the end of the day 480.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you for you guys going back to try to get our costs down. And I want to thank the Valley County Water District, Upper San Gabriel Valley, and the Metro, I don't know if they're here, for their contributions as well, because you guys, helped us. But I don't have any other questions.
I have another question. Is this the shower head that when you turn on, you turn on your water and you wait for it to get hot? Once it gets hot and you're still not using it, it turns off on itself, by itself, right? Okay, those are very good.
Not sure.
Yes? Right, you pull it and it comes out, you wait, it turns hot, and then after a while, it it feels that you don't regulate it, it turns off, right?
One of them is that.
Oh, there's two different
two
ones.
of them.
Second one is without batteries.
So are we, let's install all of these. Those are very, very efficient. Also,
The first one's installed.
oh, okay. So are we gonna have enough of these for everybody? And then this is just, oh, okay. Also, I know I think it's Southern California Edison or the gas company, I don't know which one, that comes and retrofits your shower heads and all of that as well. If the tenant has already had that done, are they gonna be denied this, or is that just something totally different? Because they only do shower heads, not toilets. Okay. Yeah, because, you know, these things break down, eventually they need a new one. Okay. Oh, that was all. Thank you.
Great. Well, I'm definitely glad we were able to find some partners and save some money. I am really excited to see this finally come to fruition. I know we've waited a little bit. I know Sam's been working on it. I know Romani's been working on it. And I know we've gotten all the other agencies on board. So I think this is a really, really neat partnership and also setting an example here in the San Gabriel Valley. So as hub of the valley, I think it fits us right to be, you know, a spearhead in this effort to save water, because we did get a lot of water throughout last month, but not enough, right? The answer is always no. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion and approve this. Can I get a second? Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. And I believe we have a budget presentation from Rose Tam, Director of Finance.
Yes.
Rose, go ahead and take it away.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and City Council and resident of Baldwin Park and community. I'm going to present you tonight the City of Baldwin Park mid-year budget review and year-end projection for fiscal year 2022 and 23. I think Mark is going to help me to put up the slide. Thank you, Mark. Next slide, please. This is the general fund operating overview update. And we projected that we are going to have increase in revenue for $4.6 million as of June 30, 2023. And the increase are mainly from the benefits that we continue to have from the increase of property tax. And we also have increase in sales tax in other area. And I'm going to go into details in the following slides. And also we have increased from the transfer in for 1.8 million. That's from the transfer in from Be Proud that the general fund help Be Proud to pay expenses in the prior years. And now we are getting the money back. And with that, and we have 4.05 million increase from revenue. And also we have about 4.09 million increase in expenditures, that mainly due to the additional position that City Council approved in August 2023. And that will help us to put lots of events back and providing assistance to the residents and community. And also we unfroze 7 police officers and will add more staff to the police department to a safer community. And also we have increases in transfer out and mainly because of the decrease that we expected from the previous anticipated revenue from the cannabis community benefit fees. I'm going to show you more details in all this in the following slides. With all of that, it will give us a projected surplus for the fiscal year ending June 30 for about $34,000. And in the next slide, I'm going to, hi, Mark, could you please? The next slide will give you more details in the increase in general fund revenue. As you may see, and we have increase in property tax, sales tax, utility users tax, and property tax in lieu of VLF. Those are the major increases impacting the general fund revenue. We also have franchise fees, increased business license and permits. And that's the license and permits are mainly contributed from the construction permits. We also have fines and penalty increase that is from the vehicle fines. And we also have increase from charges for services, and that's mainly coming from building and planning check fees. And we also have about $86,000 increase in the miscellaneous category, which is from the SB 211 pass-through, and that's also due to the increase from property tax from the prior RDA project areas. And I have mentioned about the transfer in increase from the Be Proud. And that's the details from the general fund revenue projection. Any questions from this slide?
No, can you just speak up a little bit louder, Rose, please?
Little bit louder.
Yes, please. So just to
The
clarify,
microphone.
so we have the 2.358 million that came in from the increases you just spoke about, but the 1.696 million transfer in is from the Be Proud program.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
It's great news that finally we have some money back from Be Proud. And
Yes, Rose, and thank you for, I know that back in the time when we were looking into the Be Proud, so I want to thank you for helping me look into that and work with me on that to try to unscramble those numbers and figure out how much we were going to potentially lose. So thank you for helping us catch that on time.
thank you. That's a great, wonderful news for the city, and it gives a long-term impact to the city too. A negative impact if we have not taken care of this. It will be a huge potential negative. But at the end, and with everybody and teamwork and Enrique's help, we get this taken care of. We ended with the certified, we Be Proud. We are going to continue to see, we still continue seeing some small revenue coming back from us from the receivable account. Any more questions from the revenue slide? Thank you. Next, Mark, thank you. And this is the pie chart and showing the general fund revenues. And I guess, I'm sorry if it's too small for you to see. And however, all the detailed line items will be posted on the city's website under the finance after tonight's presentation, and if it's approved by the city council. Next, Mark. Can everybody hear me okay? Thank you. Next, please. I'm going to present you the general fund expenditure by category in more details. And as you may see, we have the personnel costs for about 2.8 million. That's mainly due from the personnel increase that I have mentioned before, but only about less than 200,000 of that for the personnel costs. I mean, for the personnel adjustment, and we're adding a more full-time staff to the city in this fiscal year, and which is also great news to the community. Means we can provide more services to the residents and the community. And for in between this category, 2.7 million is the surplus that we are going to transfer or pay into the helpers sub account to for future, to meet future increased costs from the helpers, and this already reflected in our 2021 reserve fund. And the next category for the increase in maintenance is mainly from the Be Proud, is from the Measure BP and sales tax initiative costs. And also we have redesigned the city certificates based on City Council's direction. And also we have an increase for this category is due to the events and also cell tower property tax we paid. And the internal service charge increase are mainly from the legal fees that we have incurred for various claims. And the next category for the contractual costs are mainly costs from the minimum wage analysis and study for the Kaiser healthcare worker, and also including the consultant services for sales tax measure initiative. And also we have increased for the additional funding needed for service provided by Motorola for the police department. And the big increase in this category is for about $545,000 and for the animal control services from the LA County. And also we have a small increase for the annual operation support by CommNet for the radio services for the police department. And that's what is causing the contractual increase. And for the capital category, we only have a very small increases in this category. It's mainly due to the Christmas tree lighting that we have updated, which is a beautiful program. And you have all may see, enjoy the Christmas tree lighting program in December. And it's a small increases, but it created a beautiful program for the resident and the community. And we have also small increases due to the replacement for the police department, the roll-up door. So that conclude our capital category, and which will bring a total increase for about 3.7 million. And also we have an increase for transfer out to support different programs due to the decrease in the revenue from the cannabis to support different programs such as the summer program and park maintenance, and also the safety and for police department. And in the past, we received revenue from the cannabis. We allocate them to different purposes, including police department and park maintenance and different community recreation and community programs. That concluded my explanation for the increased general fund expenditure by category. And next, I'm going to go into the expenditure increase by department. If you don't have questions for this slide. No question? I hope I explain the main increase in detail. Next, please. Oh, this slide, I just want to provide a slide for the transfer out to everyone in case they want to know more details in the transfer out. For example, we have increased the transfer out for $115,000, which it used to be supported by general fund and the cannabis revenue, and same as the Part A parks and summer lunch program, and also to fund the bond payment for the community center project that we have built many years ago. Next, Mark. Thank you. So this is the pie chart, show you the expenditure from general fund by category. Any questions? Next, Mark. Thank you. Next. And this slide will present you the increase for each department. And the first one is administration. The main increase for administration, it has to do with the personnel requests, and we added 2 full-time positions to the administration department. We also have the economic analysis of minimum wages for Kaiser healthcare workers, which allocated under admin. And we also have increased due to the temporary costs for consulting services during the recruitment of HR manager. And we also have increased due to legal fees from various claims, which you will see this from every single department because we allocate the cost to the internal service fund to cover the legal fees for the general liability claims, which they don't fall into certain specific departments. And also the new redesigned city certificates falls in administration department also. For the community development department, we have a small increase because we have to carry the balance for the real estate services related to outdoor advertising billboard design. And also in this department, as I mentioned earlier, it includes the increase for legal fee services and a small portion of the personnel requests. And for the finance department, we have purchased the GASB 87 compliance software during this fiscal year for about $8,700 to meet the requirement for all the city leases. Example is the vehicle leases for different department and for police department. And however, because we have about $37,000 savings, not filling one part-time position, the bottom line, we provide about $7,000 savings from the finance department. For the police department, and the main increase is due to the personnel requests and also additional funding for the Motorola for the PD department, and the animal control services from the LA County falls under the police department, which is over $500,000. And also, we have a small increase for the annual operation support by ComNet for the police department. And the next one will be for the public works. The public works increase is mainly from the transfer out from the general fund. The park maintenance was originally budgeted from the anticipated revenue that we were going to receive from the cannabis revenue. For the recreation and the increase, including the personnel requests approved in August 3rd, 2022, and also the part-time minimum wages adjustment requested by the City Council. And we also include the transfer out that I mentioned earlier for the summer program and the lease payment revenue bond, and also the roll-up door for the police department that recreation handle, and also the Christmas tree lighting ceremony that falls under the recreation department. I think I cover all the departments, right? Does anybody have any questions? The good news is we have better than expected revenue coming into the city, and to be able to cover this additional increase in expenditures. Therefore, we still expecting to have a small surplus for over $30,000 by the end of June 30, 2023. Next, Mark, thank you. This is the pie chart for expenditure by department. Any question on this? Next, Mark. So this is each slide for each department that provide you in more details for each category and each increase that from each department. As I already briefed everybody, to save time, I'm not going to go through each department's increase again, since I already explained in the previous slide under the summary. Next, please, Mark. This is the detailed slide for community development. Next. This is for finance for each line item. And next, this is for police that I already explained. And next, same as public works, as you may see, they only have increased from the transfer out, as I explained earlier, what caused this transfer out. Next. That's the recreation showing the increases for different program and different areas. Next. That's for non-departmental mainly, and it shows you the 2.7 million that we are going to transfer to OPEB. This is also a good news, is from the surplus from 2021 that we are going to put in CalPERS trust account to meet future CalPERS cost increase, and plus miscellaneous items, and for Measure BP that we incur different costs here. Next. And this will show you the general fund projected summary for this current fiscal year 22-23. We expected a total revenue of 38.448 million and expenditure 38.406 in expenditure, which will bring us a projected surplus of $42,000. Next. And here, because of this, and we still expecting a $42,000 surplus from the general fund, which will assist the city or help city to maintain our general fund reserve. And as you may see from the bar chart, it did not go down, but it go up a little bit. And the city continue maintaining a very healthy financial situation with all the city councils continue their great effort and their direction. And I'm very happy to present you this general fund reserve balance. Any question? If no question, we go to the next one. And I did not go into detail to the special revenue and other funds, and due to the timing. And however, everyone will be able to see all the details for special revenue and other funds, including the general fund, from the city's website. We are going to post the detailed information for every single line item on the city's website. And this will provide you the summary of the total revenue and total expenditure for special revenue and other funds. Next, please. This slide will provide you information and projection for the capital improvement programs, the CIP for fiscal year 2022 and 23. And Sam will go into this slide and provide you further information. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Rose. Yeah, I'll try to be very quick. We thought it would be a good idea to also present some CIP information on the mid-year. But first, I'd like to kind of talk about what the CIP is. So the CIP is a comprehensive financial plan that outlines city projects, long-term projects, capital purchases. It is very much a companion budget to the operations budget. It includes large-scale projects such as street improvements, building renovations, and other public infrastructure improvements. So it's sort of our guide for the next 5 years in terms of big infrastructure projects. And so the purpose is to ensure that the city's infrastructure is maintained and improved over time, and that we have the financial resources planned and allocated to meet those demands. So presented here tonight is sort of a high-level mid-year snapshot or mid-year picture of where we're at in terms of the CIP. The current CIP 5-year budget, it's at around 45.5 million. That is from July 1st, 2022 to June 30th. That says 2023 on there, but that should be 2027. And so for this year, this current year, the CIP budget is at $43 million. And so this year CIP is comprised of nearly 60 projects from all departments. And it is essentially a carryover from the 2021-2022 CIP with some notable exceptions. This slide drills down a bit on the current year CIP, and it shows how it breaks down per department and as it was compared to last year. So as I mentioned before, we got $43 million, is 43,158 to be exact, as compared to last year, which was, our CIP approved budget was at 37 million. And so, next slide, please. So this infographic puts that table into into a picture so that it's easier to understand where the vast majority of the projects are. That is in Public Works. We are at about 85% of the CIP last year, and we're at about 88%. So Public Works is the only department that has an increase in the CIP. All other departments started spending their projects and on their projects, and so they're at a less. So compared to last year, we are at a $6 million increase. But this kind of gives you a better picture of what that means. So if you look at the chart on the left, it shows that we started at the 37 million approved, and then from that $37 million, we spent about $9 million in projects, and that is collectively between all departments, a little bit over. And so $26 million of that is being carried over to this current fiscal year, and projects have been over the couple of last months have been added or adjusted in funding over the last 6 months we got to this mid-year picture. And so about $16 million of that is adjustments. And so as I mentioned earlier, the notable projects, I just want to mention a few, would be the Susan Rubio Zocalo project, which was came in at $11 million. We have the Metrolink Rail project, which is at about 4.5 million. So we're bringing in some more money. So that's the reflection there. And that is how we arrive to the $43 million for this current fiscal year. And so if you were to look at the picture today, it'd be slightly less because we spent money since we prepared this mid-year budget. So that's just the picture we were at a few weeks ago. Any questions?
I have a quick question. We're not going into the CIP projects now, are we?
We are not.
So when you bring back, because I'm very interested in looking at the CIP projects that we have moving forward, because I know there's some projects there that we need to look how we're going to get them up on top of the chart. So can you bring this with you as well when you go over the CIP projects? Are you going to go over figures as well?
Absolutely.
Okay,
So
perfect.
we're going to be entering budget season for next year's budget operations-wise, and shortly after that, we'll have a CIP budget presentation, which will bring back all of the projects and talk about all the new projects and all of the projects and where they're at.
Perfect.
At that moment in time.
Thank you.
And so that concludes the CIP portion of the budget, and now I'd like to turn it back to Rose.
Thank you, Sam. And now we want to thank the Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council for their efforts and commitment to making the city a better and safe place for the residents and the community. I also want to thank the finance staff and the executive team who have assisted us with this preparation of the mid-year budget projection. Next, please. If there is no more questions from the City Council, I would like the City Council approve this mid-year budget, and then we can continue, move on. Then pretty soon we already plan and send out the new fiscal year budget preparation timeline to all the department head, and we are going to also present that tomorrow in the budget retreat.
Great.
Thank you again.
Yeah, if there's no questions, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the budget.
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you for that, City Clerk. We are down to City Council, City Clerk, City Treasurer, staff requests and communications. Before we all leave, I just want to make sure that with Mental Health Awareness Month coming up and our walk, that we see if we can work with some of our local partners to see how we can provide mental health services to our residents. And with Home Key opening up at the state level, I think it really is an important opportunity for us to look at the acquisition of Grand Park Inn for longer term care that actually prioritizes our local residents and would actually aid a lot of us in reducing call for services to that area. And that's it.
Mayor, I have something. I didn't put it on the agenda, but I wasn't here for the special meeting. I heard that Habitat was here, but I want to direct staff with council consensus to explore areas of collaboration between the Oath to Country Foundation and Habitat for Humanity in rehab owner-occupied veteran homes. There's some homes that are out of the scope of OTCF to be able to handle. So it would be good for us to use some of the funding that they're currently getting that falls within the category of substantial rehab, critical home repairs, resolving code violation issues or violations. So if council agrees with me, we can get a staff report.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Mayor, if I may, as a point of order, we have an item on the Housing Authority agenda.
I think there's, the consensus is expressed to support Councilmember Damian's suggestion. So let us know if you need anything additional. But I also wanted to thank Rose for all your work in pulling this presentation together. A very detailed and, very thorough explanation of where the funding is being allocated. And so I want to thank you, Rose, for all your work. And then, of course, the executive team, including Enrique, for, your efforts to pull all that information together. So thank you.
And so we are down to the Baldwin Park Housing Authority. We have a public hearing, Baldwin Park Housing Authority Public Housing Agency Fiscal Year 2023-2024 Annual Plan. It is recommended that the Baldwin Park Housing Authority adopt the Public Housing Agency PHAFY for 2023-2024 Annual Plan, which includes the Violence Against Women Act Statement of Acknowledgement, and approve the resolution number HA 2023-002, establishing the adoption of the plan as required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So I believe at this moment, City Attorney will go ahead and open up the public hearing for anybody looking to speak in favor or opposing or opposition regarding that item. If anybody is looking to speak, now is your time. Looking that nobody is looking to speak, I will move to close the public hearing and bring it down to the council for discussion and action. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the recommended action by staff on item number 1. Can I have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. At this moment, we are done with official city business, so I will move to adjourn the meetings that are concurrently running. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any objection? If not, meetings are adjourned. Good night, everybody.